My name is Reecie. I'm with Be Bold Games and the Tabletop Backer Party. I'm here with Matt Cross, and today we're going to talk about a new game on Kickstarter called Fearsome Wilderness. Welcome, Matt.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Oh, I just clicked extra click. Okay. Anyways, thank you for being here, um, and very nice to meet you today. I just found out about your project today. So, much like most of our listeners, they're going to be finding out everything as well. First of all, why don't you tell me what your role is and what your company is and a little bit about the game?
Yeah, great. Well, happy to spread the word and to show it off to some new people. My name's Matt Cross, and I created this game that is called Fearsome Wilderness. It's a game kind of in the horror genre, so it's great for Halloween and this time of year. It's a cooperative tabletop board game, so you can play 1 to 4 people. It works really good solo or grab some friends. And it's funded. So we funded already. I'm very happy about that. Got a little more confidence now today. So we're doing really good. The game company that's the publisher is called Geektopia Games, and they're friends of mine. And this is our first Kickstarter. And like I said, we're just uh, filled with gratitude for everyone that's backed it and supported it. Uh, it's a super fun game. So I hope people will check it out.
Yes, congratulations on being funded. Um, Funded within how long of opening
So
your project?
on day one, we were able to
Day
do it on
one.
day one. Yeah, it was when I woke up the next day, but yeah, it happened. So we were under 24 hours and very very proud of that.
So, in your own opinion, so you can brag about yourself a little bit, why do you
Okay.
think you got funded within day one?
Well, I mean, I think that the game lends itself to what people like. It's got compelling art that when you see it, you kind of get sucked in and say, "What is this?" It's really weird. It's got weird characters. It's a little different. So, and then once people see it, if they take the time to look at the actual game, it's got really solid gameplay mechanics. It's really easy to set up, easy to teach, but it's also got a lot of complexity and a lot of strategy to it, with a lot of luck and a lot of dice rolling and push your luck kind of um, fun that's involved. And I think the theme is one of the big things that people just kind of get sucked into.
I think so too, and especially now that it's spooky season, this is one that's definitely going to get people in the mood. um, so, tell me about the. I saw that the characters that you can play in this game are based off of real people or
Y-
real fairy tales. Tell me about that.
Yeah, yeah. So it's we um and maybe I'll just kind of back up for a second and just kind of kick off my inspirations for the game
Yeah.
because that's kind of part of it, right? So um in the game there's Paul Bunyan, Babe the Blue Ox, Johnny Appleseed, and Calamity Jane. So these are American folk heroes that are probably pretty familiar, but they're familiar to people who possibly saw it through Disney cartoons and stuff, right? So we're taking it and we're making it a little more grown up, and we're putting it in a horrific, uh, mysterious forest and making it kind of a wilderness horror game. So um, in that folklore, there's what they call fearsome critters. And a long time ago, someone brought it to my attention, or I found out about it, and started reading about it on Wikipedia and lumberwoods.org and other places like that. And really, just yeah, you're looking at them right there. So those are some of the minis of the fearsome critters. These are not things that I made up. They all have really silly, weird names. But they're, back when lumberjacks and loggers, in the 1800s were having to explain things like why they lost their axe or why someone went missing or something like that. They would, invent these tales, and many of them are very creepy. So I always felt, and people have said like these are perfect for, an RPG or a board game. Why aren't these monsters like more well known? So I'm trying to raise awareness about these monsters, which I think are really cool and compelling, and lots of lore and out there about him. And then mixing them with the folk heroes that we just talked about were one of the big inspirations. And then the other inspiration, there's two that I really talk about when I was kind of envisioning this game. And the other one is a documentary called Alone in the Wilderness about a man named Richard Pernecki that went out at the age of 53, and he went to Alaska and he just lived by himself for 30 years. And survived in the wilderness. He built his own log cabin just, with his own hands. So in this game, we like to we like to instill the feeling of off the grid living, kind of wilderness survival, being like, the awesome Dick Pernecki who built a log cabin by himself out in the wilderness. And that is the campaign is you're out building a cabin, but also trying to fight off these fearsome critters.
So the pieces, like here, are you actually physically building like a miniature cabin?
Yeah, so you will be able to build a cabin. So this game, we're kind of living in two worlds here, where it's a board game and it was a board game first, and it was an awesome board game, and I myself really like painting miniatures, and that's my hobby, and then more, recently printing, 3D printing, with a resin 3D printer, typically has been really fun. So we're offering the game, a standalone game. It comes with physical miniatures for the four heroes, and you get the cards and the dice and everything. You don't have to worry about 3D printing at all. But if you like 3D printing like me, and you want to do that, or find a 3D printing service or someone else that can print these for you, yeah, you can build the log cabin as the game progresses, or you can just, print it whole, and then you can print all the tokens and all the critters and things like that. So it's got lots of extras that are kind of fun.
So you're saying that when you first started making this game have miniatures, you physically were the one 3D
Mm.
printing like the prototype?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I printed all these things. Now I'm not a sculptor, so I've worked with experts to to do that. And it's an interesting art, and I learned a lot about it, and that was a lot of fun. But yeah, I worked with them. I printed them and kind of designed them with alongside the sculpt.
And how about the artwork? Who's responsible for that?
Yeah, so the artwork is something that we're really proud, and very very much on at the beginning, like I didn't know I was going to do miniatures or anything, but I definitely knew I wanted good art. So we worked with the fantastic Bud Wheeler, who's been an artist for a very very long time, and he did like the tree that you're looking at, and so he did all the trees. He did all of the fearsome critters, and he did the folk heroes for us. And then we have another artist that kind of came along later, and I just loved his art so much. We were lucky to work with him, and his name's Willis Harrower, and he did all the art for the conditions cards. They're black and white, and it's really detailed, and cool, creepy, crazy stuff. And then the card backs are another artist, and our logo was made by Tony Mitty, who's a wizard as well. So we had three really cool artists. I have to give a shout out to all three of them.
Yeah, that's awesome. Um, what is it like within the process of like choosing your artist? How do you find them, and what are you looking for?
Yeah, well, this is my first Kickstarter, so I learned some lessons along the way, and some things didn't work out with people, and once I found someone who was really good, I said, okay, I'm sticking with you. Let's do all of these cards. And the luckily, so the card backs, Tony Mitty, that was a no brainer. I came across them just on the internet, Instagram, and places. Um, and that was, yeah, like I said, that was his style is perfect for our logos, and they look like that it should be on the card back, right? Bud Wheeler was actually a connection I made really luckily in Chicago, who's a friend of a friend, and now is close friends with me. So that's kind of how I lucked into the one guy, and Willis reached out to me, so that was cool too. So
That's awesome.
yeah.
Um, so I want to go over what do you get when you back this, and I know that there's different levels of reward.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, it was kind of hard because I don't want people that say I'm a board gamer, I don't care about printing to just, skip past my project because that would make me really sad because it's a game first and foremost, right? It's well balanced, it's play tested very thoroughly. It was always just a board game, and uh, so the first pledge is going to be just a print and play copy. During COVID and social distancing, it just added to, we already knew that we kind of wanted to do a print and play, but this just makes it even easier. Also, the fact that shipping is a little bit expensive because we're a first time Kickstarter and we weren't really sure about, demand for this game or anything. So the print and play is like there's no shipping charges, it's low cost, and it's everything you need. You're gonna have to make your own dice and print out some stuff, or use a mobile app for the dice, but everything plays well. So if you want to play this game because it's so awesome, you do the print and play, and then I can talk about the next tiers if you want. That we're doing what we call a 3D print and play. So same thing, but it has all the STL files. So this is for people that just want the STL files, and maybe we'll play the game some, but maybe they're more printers and collectors and painters and hobbyists. Or it's someone who just, the shipping's a little bit too steep, so people are resourceful, and we've given a lot of resources on how to effectively print and play these. We're going to make it real premium, and easy to do. So the $35 one gets you everything. There's no shipping on it. It gets you, if you've got a 3D printer, you get 227 STL files, and it's more than that actually because we're adding. um, but it's pretty awesome. And then the next tier up is just going to be the physical game. There's no digital files. You don't have to, if you're just a physical board gamer and you don't care about printing anything. That's the one we recommend just for everybody is the Jackalope tier. It's $49, and and you do get some physical minis. So you get 5 pieces. You get um, the heroes and then the well, the creepy well. So it's a complete package with the 12 dice is a lot of dice too, and they all have custom sides on them, and they're wooden. And then the only other tier there is the all in. So that's, I want the physical box, but I also have a 3D printer and I want to print stuff and I want to print tokens and I want to make more dice myself and I want all the critters, the fearsome critters. So uh, that's the best one. That's the good one, right? All
That's the
in.
good one.
Yeah.
um, so I want to kind of figure out your perspective on being a first time Kickstarter, and some things that you did say that you learned some lessons, but also tell me, like, where do you see it going after the fact? You're funded. Once the Kickstarter ends, what is your life going to look like?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, I think my wife and family will be really happy for me to have the heavy lifting done and maybe take a short break to, get back with the family and everything. And so after I relax a little bit, we want to keep making games and we want to build. I mean, I think this is a really cool world we've kind of built, and we can explore further. Uh, the game for, where the future holds this game is we're gonna sell all, print all these. The game's it's done. So we're a first time Kickstarter. So it's not a Kickstarter. We're like, hey, we're thinking about making a game, support us and go make it. Like it's ready. You can go play it on Tabletop Simulator today if you want. So we're going to send it to the printer and the manufacturers, ASAP once we get our funds. And then we want to investigate how we can make these critters, which are not included physical copies, because a lot of people have expressed interest that they don't have a printer. What do they do? So we're looking into what we want to do with that, and then expansion time. So this would be really easy to just do, more cards and more minis to expand the game. And I have a million ideas of how I want to do that.
I was
Um,
just going to ask.
yeah. So, and a little bit of mystery, like you'll notice in the demo rule book, it doesn't really tell you the end game stories for the demo copy because I want to keep all that a secret because I've got big plans on there's lots of twists and turns, it's a whole story that you go through when you go through the campaign, a beginning, middle, and end. And I want to just keep telling that story. And then I know I'm rambling, but the biggest thing that I'm excited about, and I don't know if I'm allowed to just be telling everyone this or not, but we've been working for a really long time. Really, my friend Ian, a little bit, I started working on it with him a lot. I've been working on this, and he's been working on an RPG that's set in this world where we'll have, same location, same critters, and it's going to be based on the Year Zero engine, which is, Tales from the Loop and Mutant and Alien, these other RPGs use that, and it just went open gaming license, so we can use it too now, and we're making our RPG. So we'll have a RPG book maybe next year. I don't know. We'll see.
That is awesome.
And you
I
can use all
myself
the same
just got
minis.
into RPGs, so like I get really excited about like any new ideas about it because really I only thought that it was Dungeons and Dragons and that's it. But
Yep, yep. No, and we've yeah, I mean we still play a lot of Dungeons and Dragons in my game groups, but we started doing some like one-offs of other stuff and then little campaigns of especially with this Year Zero engine that we've just been fond of. So it's a should be fun. Good, lots of good things coming in the future. Um, yeah.
nice. Um, so I don't know if I remember or not. When did you get started working in gaming?
Uh, I just like
Just with this
when I
project?
started working this. I mean, I had so Geektopia Games made a game, an MMA themed board game that's really really cool called Cage Match, and I came on right around the time that they were working on that, and that was my friend John Lash, who's the president of Geektopia Games, and then they kind of approached me, and I said, hey, I want to get in here and make some games, and um, my first game idea was I thought it was really cool. It was on a scroll, it rolled out real big, and you had like pieces that would move out into the world on the scroll, and it was just it it was really cool, but I don't think it was as cool as Fearsome Wilderness. So I'm glad that I went back to the drawing board. I made this game. I made like three different Paul Bunyan games for some reason, and then this was the one that everyone was really just taken with and said, "We got to make this. We got to take this, to Kickstarter." And I'm glad we did. So we're funded.
So what is your favorite game aside from the one that you made?
Oh, that's tough. I mean, I guess it's not that tough because it's Kingdom Death, but like there's a lot of games. I mean, I guess it's Dominion maybe. I don't know. It depends on who's asking me. Mansions of Madness. I don't know.
I always find that to be a really tough question too. Um, Somebody
What's
asked me
yours?
what my
What's
favorite
yours?
game is.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know, like off the top of my head, even though I love games. It's hard to pick one favorite.
Well, I can tell you. Do you have a favorite?
Um, nope.
Yeah, exactly. It's hard. So don't ask me. But I can tell you like what kind of inspired this game that I've created is
Yeah.
a big expression, which is so silly because it's nothing like this, but we would be playing King of Tokyo, um, and it's a really fun game, but it's very, very simple and very basic, and there's not really a story to it. You don't have miniatures. Well, they should have miniatures, but they're standees and kind of weird and oversized, and I felt like I could take that Yahtzee style dice rolling mechanic that everyone just like understands immediately and enjoys and has the right amount of I'm getting endorphins every time I roll this thing, which is just fun, and then put it in a goofy world where people can like have a difficult experience trying to get beat up in the wilderness, laugh about it, and just keep rolling dice and drawing cards and trying to fight off these hideous monsters.
So, are there any other projects that you're backing on Kickstarter that you're excited about?
Oh yeah, I mean I back stuff all the time. I just backed. Well, we were talking about Tales from the Loop. Simon Stolberg just did a new art book that he did. What did I back before this? Some dice, endless dice was cool. You know, tell people to look at that. I have probably a bunch of friends that are mad that I'm not calling out their projects right now. um, Pillars of Stone was really cool. Lots of 3D printable stuff. I've been doing a lot of Pirates vs. Cthulhu is really fun. Ian Lovecraft's the best. I do a lot of Patreons too, so I get a lot of minis from like Fotis Mint and Eastman and some of these guys that just do amazing 3D printable stuff, and so Kickstarter and Patreon, I'm all over them, and that's why I kind of like throwing my hat in the ring and crowdfunding something myself.
That's good. It's like you're going around and it comes around, basically.
Yeah.
Artist supporting artists.
Yeah, I mean, there's been so much support from each other too. Like Photosmint is like he's this amazing sculptor of busts, miniature printable busts that you can print and paint, and he's just been so supportive all along the way. And I've just been, it's my I guess my point of saying that is this community of gamers and printers is so open and nice and friendly and supportive of each other. Um, Fen is another example. Fen is a reviewer and does a lot of content for Kingdom Death and other things, and just was really supportive of me and looked at my game and did a review. A lot of people just doing reviews for me that I really appreciate it. People like the game, so it's great. It's heartwarming and makes me full of happiness.
That's really good to hear. That's exactly what I love about the gaming community is how much everyone supports each other. So I'm glad that that's a thing for more people.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We're getting towards the end of our interview here. I just wanted to see if
You
there's
guys show
anything
some
you wanted to add.
scroll down some more, man. Or
Yeah,
yeah, let's look at there's so much to look at. Everyone, I apologize how much is on there, but it's hopefully going to get you sucked in.
that's
And
okay. Let's show it off.
yeah, but you can scroll literally forever because we've got all these critters. The we just unlocked the Dunghaven Hooter. That's the hard one to say. Say that 3 times fast. The next one is the Splinter Cat. We unlocked it came with 10 critters to start that were unlocked already and included, and then we have 15 more, and we've already done like 5 or 6 of them, I guess. And so I love the momentum. It's been really fun to just be able to share updates and say, hey, now we're adding this one and we're adding this one. And I can tell my sculptors who are all really into the project that, hey, I got another one for you that's unlocked. So the other big one that I want to do is the hardcover rule book. So if people can help me out to get to the hardcover rule book, it's a really thick book with lots of full page art and nightmare stories that you'll play out through the game. And um, it's just it's I really want that book to look good. So hopefully we can do it.
Um, can you give an example of what one of the nightmares is?
Yeah, I mean, there's scroll right down and you're looking at one. I think there's 20. Every critter has a nightmare. It's you'll randomly select it over the night phase when you're playing this game. It's separated into the day phase and the night phase, and it'll start reading a story. You'll roll dice periodically to see if you're going to wake up from it, and you'll usually take a negative condition card depending on how far you sleep and are unable to wake up from your nightmare.
Ooh, that's
Um,
scary.
yeah.
This is so imaginative. I'm very glad that I got to see this today.
Yeah, here's some links to those inspiration things that I kicked us off talking about, and I highly recommend people just kind of looking at these fearsome critters on the internet. And uh, like I said, lumberwoods.org is a great place to start.
There's a lot here.
Yeah, I
Ooh.
just want to show a couple of the sculpts, and you'll get to these pretty quick. I don't know if you have to
Yeah.
kind of scroll a bit faster, maybe, but yeah, here you're about to see the cabin, which is cool.
Oh,
You can build
okay.
it. Like the doors and windows. You can print it all as one, or you can print like the doors and windows just glue on the side. So you can
Hmm.
put multiple windows or doors and antlers on the front or whatever you want. It's a dice tray too. There's an outhouse we have, and I kind of been using that as a dice jail, which I think is hilarious because it's got like an empty bottom. There's the board uh, front. It's double sided, so the campaign is very much. I've been trying not to relate it to Pandemic, but in Pandemic, if people are familiar with, you play twice a session twice. If you fail, you play it again. If you don't, you move on. So that's or the month, I guess, is what I would say. But ours are weeks, and if you fail, you play again. If you fail twice, you move on. So eventually, winter will come, and they'll have harder rules, and it's best to succeed in your objectives rather than keep failing and make it harder and harder.
Yeah. So I
Yeah,
know
I'm
it's a
sorry.
cool.
I mean, you can roll through the tiers. I would love to just show a couple of these sculpts, and you'll know it when you see it. This is just going to talk about the four different tiers and like what you get in them, and then we can like. And I have some sitting next to me. I don't know if people
Oh,
can see me on the camera, but
let's
there's
zoom you in here.
yeah, who's that? That's Paul. Babe the Blue Ox. I got I got to paint these guys. There's Paul Bunyan. I got a bunch of. There's a Snallygaster, a Hagog.
Are you gonna paint any of them?
Oh yeah, I painted a bunch of them already, but I'm gonna go print them again and take more time on them and do a couple different color schemes and stuff. It's really, I mean, I love painting paints, so now I get to paint ones that are part of my game. So that's obviously I'm doing a lot of that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's the best thing about 3D printing is you can just print another one and paint it a different color if you want.
I'm very happy for you. I'm gonna click something and see if I don't blow up the whole computer. Hold on.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know if there's any comments, questions in the chat, but
I don't
feel
see
free.
anything in the chat. I know we
Okay.
have some people watching us, so if you want to say hi, we'd love to hear from you. Otherwise, I'll wait. No, just kidding.
I'm sharing it to my Facebook now too. I didn't get to do that when we started. I feel like we're so close to seeing some of these renders that Leander Forney is he's like sculptor that did the heroes. He and Florian have helped me out with the renders, so we have really nice. Uh, it's just really high quality like renders that they did. So makes the minis look really cool.
This is just. Oh, I saw something about an app, and I just wanted to make sure that you're recommending an app for the dice. You don't have an app for the
Yes.
game, right?
No, no.
Okay.
But I did make a so the app that's up there. Um, we saved a zip file. We put the icons in. It's really easy. You don't have to like do this yourself. You just download it from our website and then import it into the app. So you're ready to go for the
Yeah,
dice.
that's awesome. I was wondering that when you said you could use a dice app. I'm like, but they're not gonna have the little
Yeah,
icons.
no, it's got it, and it's really nice. Like it's almost like it was made for it. You lock it, and then it won't re-roll because you're doing like a Yahtzee style.
Mm-hmm.
Save a dice and not re-roll it. And we're gonna have supported. So that's a picture just to show that we're gonna support all the files, make it really easy. If you're familiar with 3D printing, you have to add these support structures to them. And so that can be time consuming and a pain, and we're doing it for you. So you just get the files and they'll just be kind of loaded into your printer. Yeah, here we go. Got some renders. So just wanted to show a couple of these because
Yeah,
they're awesome.
got Paul.
They're a little bit beat up, living in the fearsome wilderness. Got some
Picking that.
bandages and yeah, they're a little beaten up and bruised, but they're surviving. And so yeah, you'll get the four heroes. You'll get regardless. So or if you buy the physical game,
Yeah.
you'll get them.
Okay.
Then the rest of these critters are just 3D printable extras that are just kind of for fun. The Jersey Devil, that's a good one. And yeah, literally any of these. I mean, you could go and read for an hour about the Jersey Devil and get really into different tales about that and horrific satanic things. And the Snallygaster is fun 'cause he's got tentacles. The Glowwalkus is another one of my favorites because he's just like a weird looking dude.
This is my spirit animal.
He's got like one side of the spiky ball tail is smooth as count his chest with it or something is the story. The joint snake, if you cut it up, it'll reattach itself. And
Oh,
if
that's
you,
a scary one. Yep.
yeah, Ding Mall's another ball tail cat variant. He's got the long tail. The Goofus bird flies backwards. It cares more about where it's been than where it's going. Um, Gumbaroo, I think that yeah, it'll explode on you.
This looks like a
Uh,
bear pig.
it does. The Cactus Cat. This one's awesome. A friend and a great sculptor Florian did this one, and I feel like it's a little like Gollum from Lord of the Rings. He's kind of like
Yeah,
giving
the
you
way
that
they'll
like
crouched on the
I don't
rock.
know. I just
Yeah.
love it. Yeah, he's getting drunk on cactus juice right now. Yeah. And then so we've unlocked some stretch goals, which is making me really happy to just keep adding to this game, making it better. And yeah, there's 4 or 5 that we've unlocked down here. So the Hodag was one that people were asking for. I put it first, unlocked it real quick.
Well, yeah, I mean, reached the goal. You get these already
Yeah.
unlocked.
Yeah.
Now we're at 14. Got this one.
Yeah, and then I don't have renders for the rest of them, or they're work in progress. We're not
Hmm.
even close enough to like show anything off. But these will all be included. I actually do have a hide behind, and that's a really interesting model. So it's going to be a weird one. And so yeah, it'll just be fun over the next several weeks, 27 days. I will be hopefully unlocking more and sharing them in our updates. And if you back $1, you can follow along and just at least see what I'm doing, see the weird stuff I'm doing, and laugh at me. And um, yeah, and there's a how-to video on the internet. There's me and Daniel Zayas played last night, so there's ways that you can see
Nice.
this game if you want me to, prove that it's a fun, weird game. Go check it out.
Well, just so anybody who's watching that hasn't backed this project yet, you got to get it to 16,500 so you can get the Splinter Cat
Yeah,
and
it's
all these
next.
others that we're still waiting for.
Yeah,
Well, I appreciate you talking to me. Um, and I definitely want to congratulate you again on hitting your goal, especially being a first time Kickstarter. That's so awesome.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
No, thank you.
yeah. Do you have anything else you want to say?
No, just I'm answering comments as fast as I can. Just trying to be very responsive on the Kickstarter. I respect the process. I respect that people are having faith in me to make this game and actually deliver it and make it the best game it can be. And I promise I will do everything I can to make it perfect. So yeah, comment if you have questions on the Kickstarter. Reach out to me. Back the game. Get weird in the wilderness.
Get weird in the wilderness. You should put that
That's
up to your tagline.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
um, where can we follow you? Do you have any social media for yourself
Yeah,
or
so
for your
yeah,
project?
Geektopia Games is the company, so that's the website, and there's a lot of content about other games on Geektopia Games. They've been for many years um, having this website. It's got fan-made content for other games like Epic Duels and stuff. So that's a good place to go and see lots of Fearsome Wilderness content that I put on the website. Right now, it's all on Kickstarter though. If you want to see me paint, or not watch me paint, but look at what I paint. Dystopia Matt is my Instagram name. I am on Twitter, but I don't like it
Yeah,
as much. So yeah, and then Geektopia Games Facebook is probably the other place that you could go, and we're posting and sharing and stuff. But Dystopia Matt's the fun stuff. I promise it's not all just Fearsome Wilderness stuff. You can come and look at other stuff I'm painting and printing, and so
that's awesome. Thank you
yeah.
so much for sharing. Um,
It was awesome to meet you, and it's awesome to thank you for the opportunity to share my story and share my game with everyone. We need more backers, so a million thank yous to everyone out there who's watching and supporting and helping a first time Kickstarter creator.
Yay! Thanks everyone for watching. Make sure you go follow and back this Kickstarter. You can send any questions and you'll be answered. And if you have any questions or comments, you can put them in this video and we can get back to it later as well. So thanks everyone. Have a great night.
Have a good one.